Chapter 36, The Angelica Touch by Lindsay J. Sedgwick. Everyone goes silent as I walk down the bus on Monday. Some look away quickly, others throw me pitying glances. I only make it halfway down the bus when I crack. It wasn't her fault. He already had a heart condition. I should have said nothing. Suddenly everyone wants details. I think it's cool, says Denise out of the blue, as if she's defending me or something. Like Greta Garbo came back as the Grim Reaper. I heard she told him what she did to your dad, says another. I heard she told him how she was going to slice him up and eat him alive, says Theo. The only person that's likely to happen to is you, Theo, says I. Cool, he says. Seriously. And anyway, he isn't dead. He had a heart attack. I plonk down beside Grace. Sorry, I say, holding out a slice of chocolate biscuit cake. So you should be, she says, snatching it off me to weigh it in her hand. Thankfully, Grace is useless at staying grumpy. I've only to ask her about the engagement and she's all better. You never told me matchmaking was so much fun. Shh, I say, before the whole bus hears us. That's the last thing we need. And I'm sorry about you, Mum, she says. I mean, it's just bad luck. Really bad luck. I didn't think she'd take it so hard. I mean, with my mum. Yeah, well, I say. Kind of different fish, your mum and mine. Yeah, well, she echoes sharply. Maybe you're better off, okay? I mean, look at mine. Different man every weekend. Me having to tiptoe around them in the morning. Trying to get to sleep really fast in case I hear them giggling all night, or worse. She seems pretty keen on Marcus, I say, despite your reverse psychology ruse. Grace stares out the window and sighs. She was. But now she says she's too busy for a serious relationship. The sigh is odd, since I thought she didn't like Marcus. Maybe she was just afraid to admit she liked him in case he left. As he has. I'm sorry, I say, in case she was. Come on, Mum, you know you're perfect for it. Chris, tell her she's the only one who can do this. Angelica's right. No one else has the management skills you have to organise a festival and bully Drashog into shape. The Lovefest, he says, needs you, Molly. He's right, I say. Chris isn't bossy enough, and no offence, Mum, but would you really trust Kitty to run a festival and not steal all the single men? Kitty grimaces, but takes her cue. This one's yours, Molly. The Drashog Arms has to lead the charge. It's our iconic building, the historic heart of the town, and I've too much on my hands with the blind date weekends. Besides, Chris says it was your idea. Chris coached her well. Everyone, including Mum, assumed she would manage the festival until she got to feeling so down about love in general. The date Chris was pitching is just over 6 weeks away. We need her now, and she needs this. I'm hardly a glowing role model for a love fest, she says. And she's right. In this mood, I can think of rabid bears being better at it and nicer. But at least it would keep her too busy to mope. You should choose a couple to front it, she says, all gooey and loved up. Think of the business it would bring to the hotel, says Kitty. Do you really want to jeopardise that? That's not fair, says Mum. Neither am I. Kitty tosses her blonde locks a little too theatrically. But as long as I keep my dark roots under control, nobody knows. 6 weeks, says Mum. I can't do it alone. You won't be. We'd need an organising committee to manage the various teams, says Mum, to make sure deadlines are met or it all falls apart. Everyone has to have a say, but I don't want it getting chaotic. I need people I can trust to make decisions. Absolutely. Kitty winks at me. Mum is on the line and pulling herself in. And it has to be unique, says Mum. There's no point copying Liz Dunvarna or trying to be the Rose of Drashog. Vehement head shakes all round. All of us trying to keep our face dead serious, like kids who have persuaded Mum to make the biggest chocolate cake and are now letting her convince us it's the healthy veggie option, source of our 5 a day. I want there to be something for everyone who might come, whatever their age or interests. Agreed. Kitty hands Mum a sheaf of pages. Just some ideas we've got in already. Most romantic couple, best dressed bachelor, love songs pageant, workshop on making love potions, blind dates using the hole in the wall that Guppy made. You've seen the flyer with the ideas Chris and Angelica put together. The county council are on board, provisionally, but you're right. It should be a couple at the helm. Which is just as well, since we have one. What? Says Mum. You and Chris, of course. Mr. and Mrs. Drishow, Lovefest. Thanks, Moll. She's gone before Mum can object. Chris, I notice, has vanished too. This is your fault, says Mum. To me. Just add it to my growing list of flaws, says I. I call into Guppy for some sanity. She wants to leap right into dictation now that there's a potential festival audience for her booklet. I'd love to tell her Teddy is alive, but I haven't heard from him since that one email. If he's gone all turtled into his shell, what good would it be to tell her that he's been in touch? From where I'm standing, he's a cad who left his girl behind. I'm going off, men, the more I learn. So, you ready for the Labadrouche, she says? Sure. The Labadrouche. Legend has it, and she's off. My head is somewhere else entirely, and I have to keep asking her to repeat herself. Is everything okay, Angelica? I plead a headache and go to bed early. To be continued.